Hi everyone, especially to my dear learners. This video lesson is for you. Okay, so the last video we had, or the lesson we discussed, was about professional correspondences, which is, yes, writing professionally. And one of those is how to write memo, or what we call memorandum. Okay, so let's get started. I actually promised you last time that we will have a separate discussion about memorandum, since the previous discussion merely talks about the definition and what memorandum is. So for this video, I added the concrete example of each type of memo. Okay, so yes, types of there are five. Okay, so let's have a short recap on what memorandum is. Okay, so it came from the word memorary. Okay, yes, hopefully we can have Bisaya dialect again as means of our explanation. But if it's okay with you, then maybe we can also go ahead and have this explanation be in English. Yes, yeah, the language that we will use is English. Okay, so it is memorary. Okay, it came from the word memorary, which means to remember, and afterwards it was shortened to memo. Okay, so this time, yes, for this generation, it's already called memo. For to make it short. Okay, so memo here is, yeah, it informs, it persuades people within an organization. So if you're a member of when we say member of an organization, like you are a member of a certain legal group, no? Okay, it's a legal group. So example, in your institution, it could be a private or public. So you belong to a certain company. So it could be, yes, when you look for a job and when you are hired for, yes, for your new job. Okay, yes, so here we have to follow certain rules and structure how to make use of our memo. So it's basically using the inverted pyramid. Okay, so it was also mentioned or explained from the previous video that it looks like this. Okay, so mentioned the inverted pyramid, in which the pointed part is already on the bottom part. Okay, yes. So, which means to say, when you write a certain memo, whatever memo it is, okay, whatever type of memo it is, so your most important information should be on the first part. Okay, so you'll have supporting data for your examples, and the least important information should be on the bottom part. Okay, I hope that's clear. Okay, so advantages of using memos. Okay, so it allows detailed and accurate information to reach a large number of readers. And it's also official. Okay, so you wouldn't just believe a certain information you received from your colleague. Yes, our boss told us that you were going to have an increase. Okay, salary increase this month. Oh, really? And then you are expecting too much. You are already budgeting your money according to the promotion or according to the salary increase. And then, yes, of course, with the yes, unexpectedly or unfortunately, it wasn't the way you expected it to be. So that's why there has to be something that is official, that the boss or the employer really told or mentioned that there will be a salary increase for all the employees next month. Okay, so it's not just a word of mouth. Okay, so it has to be, yes, signed or approved. Okay, so another advantage we have here is accessible anytime, since it serves as a written record. Okay, so when you say, yes, when you try to check your salary and the expectation you had was, yeah, it wasn't there. And then you already start to complain your boss. Yeah, boss, you told, yes, us or our colleague, my colleague will have a salary increase. How come it's still the same as the previous month? And then your boss would say, who said so? I didn't have, yes. And then your colleague just, I think he just mentioned that one in one of our meetings. Okay, so just word of mouth, but there has no written document about it. Okay, so anything the boss said, or if it's for the whole or the um, entire organization, if you want it to be legalized or confirmed, then you may suggest your employer to better have that one in a memo. Okay, yes, an official record. Okay, so we have here parts of a memo. Okay, so you noticed, unlike the resume or the cover letter, that you don't need to write the word memorandum, right? But here we have memorandum. Okay, again, we have the letterhead here. Okay, 2 line, and this is how it basically goes, or you see it the way it is. Okay, so we'll talk about, okay, each part of the memo. Okay, the first one we have is the memo head. Okay, memo head is like the letterhead. Okay, this one. So it has the logo of the company, the name of the company, the address, and the contact number. Okay, 2 line, okay, indicates the name and the title of the receiver. Okay, so notice here 2 line, Attorney Rene Hombres. Okay, so, and then his position, yes, in the organization, so it's publishing manager. Okay, so the position, okay, important. From line here, yeah, it indicates the name of the sender. Okay, if you are the sender, then you write your name, Miss Raya May. Yes, family name, La Sala, Miss Raya May La Sala, and then yes, head teacher. Okay, like that. Okay, just an example. Date line, okay, that the line where when the line, I mean, the date when the memo was created or posted, or it was done. Okay, it serves as a chronological record for reference purposes. Okay, so it was discussed last time that probably there will be what each memo will have a discrepancy. Of course, probably it affects the previous memo that was posted, so then you can have that one as your like extra or additional information. Okay, so yeah, that's for the date line. Okay, subject line is your topic. Okay, it announces the main content or the topic of the memo. Body here, yes, okay, this is the time that you will have to follow the inverted triangle. The most important part will be the first part. Okay, contains the message of the memo. Okay, again, if the memo exceeds 1 page, begin the next page with the recipient's name, date, and page number. It must be placed 3 lines from the top page. Okay, so as you try to write a memo, and then you can't have it on 1 page alone. Actually, it's not really that necessary. Like, it's really a must to have 1 page. So you can, yeah, you're allowed to have the second page. However, if it's just, again, yes, yeah, unusual or awkward or unusual to have the second page, then might as well try to adjust the font size or the margin. If you have to write the second page, then you better yes, like 3 lines. So it's like from the memo head, then you count 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, and then you start now, okay, with the continuation. So you start the continuation or the second page with the recipient's name, date, and page number. So 2 of 2, so you say that one. Okay, so it must place 3 lines from the top page. Okay, so here, example, Mr. Rojas, March 1. Okay, page 2, you can do. Yeah, so it's preferred to use page 2 instead of what I mentioned earlier, 2 of 2. Okay, that's more formal. Okay, identification initials. Okay, it indicates the typist initials if the sender is not the one who personally typed the document. Okay, so you need to have the initials. I'll try to show you, okay, the example again about the initial. Okay, this one is the initial, JMJ. So JMJ stands for Jose Marie Tumales, the chief editor. So the chief editor is the one who write the memo, but the message isn't actually coming from him. Okay, so there must be someone who is higher than him who told him to have that memo. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's have here. Is not the one who personally typed the document. Okay. Yes. Or, yes, I'm sorry about that one. So, initials if the sender is not the one who personally typed the document. So, it's the other person. So, let's try to correct that one. So, the chief editor is the one who who said that there will be a memo for that, and it was not Jose, right? I forget the last name, or the chief editor. So it was not actually Miss Attorney Humbres who wrote the letter. Instead, probably it was his secretary, okay, who wrote that. Tumali, sorry. Yeah, what happened to me? Okay, so the initial here is needed or necessary if it wasn't, okay, the chief editor or the sender who actually wrote the memorandum. So for example, Jose Marie Tumales just asked or requested his secretary to write the memo instead of him, to write the memo for him. Okay, so the secretary example, I am the secretary. So after writing the memorandum, I need to have, or I need to ask Mr. Tumales' signature or initials for that. Okay, yes, for him to have, yes, to check whether what I wrote on that memo is true and valid. Okay, so he has to double check on that. Okay, that is the purpose. Okay, yes, of course, you need to ask the initials right after you have written the memo. Okay, so it's like the approval. Okay, this is already correct. What you did is already correct. Okay, so Mr. Tumales can say that to his secretary. I hope I made that clear. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here let's continue. Okay, the enclosure notation, okay, refers to the attachments to the memo. Enclosure notation. So enclosed here with. So just like your application letter, or yes, you attach with you your resume. So in here, in the enclosure notation, okay, example, yes, you have other documents that is attached to it, okay, is to prove other matters. Okay. Copy notation here indicates the name of the secondary recipients of the letter. Copy notation, so it has the acronym, okay, CC. Okay, so like that. So that is, which means to say that there is another copy for the said, or for that particular person. Okay, and yeah, carbon notation is indicated. Yeah, carbon notation, or yes, this one, CC. Yeah, I already explained. Okay, carbon copy or courtesy copy. It means it can also be like that. Okay. So writing a memo, this we also have to follow certain structure, the format as well. Okay. So we need to have the correct format and standard use of language. So again, if you use the English language, American English, then you also have to use the rest of the words should be American English too. Okay. Use a bullet or numbered list to enumerate information. Okay. Use a positive tone, concise wording, and active verbs. Okay. Hopefully for the next video, I can show you, or I can teach you other active verbs, or verbs that are very helpful in our writing. Okay. Action verbs, yes, or active verbs. Okay. Use headings to highlight topics. Okay. So headings. Okay. So your subject here. Okay. Check or remove grammatical and typographical errors. So before you ask the chief editor have his initials, you also have to double check that one. Okay, so that you will not also feel shy. Okay, the moment that you let it, that your chief editor will really read or check your your output. Okay. Next is a sign beside your typed name. Yeah, the sender. Okay, so the sender is Mr. Tumales, right? Not you. So you are just the secretary. Okay. Flush left the to, from, date, and subject lines. Okay, from the example, so all these, okay, are on the left side of the paper or of the letter. Conclude the memo by saying thank you or a directive action. Okay, example. For your compliance, for your immediate action, okay, for immediate or for urgent, yes, for urgent matters like that. Okay, for normally this is what I see, okay, is in the memo for your compliance. Yes. Next, never use plain numerals for dates. Plain numerals example we have here like this. So the formal way of writing the date, it should be like this. Okay, March 1, 2020. Okay, like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So never do this one. This is incorrect. You use, okay, the complete one, or this is the formal way of writing the date, not the numerals here. Okay, I hope that is clear. Okay, yes. Also, you can have this one as well. So it's possible. Okay, and okay, we have now the 5 types of memo. Okay, the 5 types of memo. The first one we have is, okay, instruction memo. Instruction memo provides the information needed by the readers to accurately perform the directions. Okay, perform the directions. Okay, remember, maybe the example that I mentioned last time was about, okay, yes, the company is having, or the building is having an earthquake drill. Okay, and what instructions to follow before, during, and after the earthquake drill. Okay, but in here, okay, it is an example in which the I think it's about annual physical exam, okay, for all the employees for that certain company. Okay, so for here, or the 2 line here is for all the employees. Okay, from line, it came from the company doctor. Okay, the initial, okay, is CS, so which means Cora Castro, or we don't know, as this is his, or this is her initials. Date, okay, you can see it's very clear, not using the numeral numbers. Subject, okay, annual physical examination. Okay, as part of the company's health and safety requirement, all employees have to take part in the annual physical examination on September 19 to 21, 2019. Please take note of the following. Okay, so it was also stated you can have it in the bullet form. Okay, and it shouldn't be the what like the paragraph, the essay form. No, it isn't like that. Okay, it's different from writing your cover letter, in which you can have your paragraph there. Okay, in here, so it's just being bulleted. And here, as you notice on the first part, okay, that is the most important part of the memorandum, and it's really complete, like the what, when, where, who. Okay, yes, when, where, and what they will do. Okay, so that's part. And these are the things that they have to do, okay, during the annual physical examination. So first, they will proceed to the clinic to sign up for your APA schedule, then bring samples, and yes, and the rest. Okay, so at the end, so there is like, for your compliance, thank you very much. Okay, so that's how you end. And you noticed also there is no need to like greetings, like dear Mr., because this is the format of writing a memorandum. Okay, yeah, just different from your application letter, right? So there is like the dear Miss, yeah, greetings. So in memorandum there is or it doesn't need it anymore. It is not needed anymore. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm quite sleepy already. Request memo here, the second type is it asks readers to provide certain information or certain actions. Okay, provide certain information, so it's request, right? Okay, so in here it states, or asking, yes, for the preparation of their writing seminar. I think it's it's asking for, yes, like the donation or the reservation for the room that they will be using, okay, or that they will use. Okay, here, yes, the receiver of the message, Marina Mislang, Vice President for Finance. And the sender of the message is the editor-in-chief. This is her initials, KB, Catherine Bautista. Okay. Date September 5, 2019. Subject fund request for writing seminar. Okay, so your subject must also be concise. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a complete sentence or a statement. Okay, so it's just a title here. Okay, in preparation for the writing seminar, which the company will host next year, I would like to request the amount of 30,000 for the reservation of the function room of Four Flowers Hotel. I have been informed that we need to make a deposit on or before September 23 to reserve the room. Please note that the said amount will cover the reservation of the room for 9 hours, as well as the tables and chairs set up, sound system, and lighting. Thank you very much. CC, okay, so this one, okay, this request memo has CC R. Samson, the president. So which means to say, since even though the memo is for the vice president, but when the vice president receives this memo, she knows that the president also has the copy of this memorandum. Okay, so that's it. Okay. Third type of memo we have here is announcement memo. Okay, so it provides information about a certain event, person, or thing. Okay, announcement memo is used, okay, when something is missing, or someone is missing something, yeah, it could be, or an event as well. Okay, here, it's for all employees. It came from Ryan Samson, the president of the company. Remember, that was R. Samson for the CC. Okay, September 12. Okay, subject, new vice president for marketing. Okay, so this one is very good. It's very clear that the president wants to inform everyone that there is a new vice president for marketing. It will be posted on the bulletin board, or it will also be part of their meeting. Okay, so there is a memorandum from the president. It's for all the employees concerning or regarding the new vice president. So it's announcement memo. Okay, so here, please be informed that the position of the vice president for marketing has already been filled by Miss Janet Pascual. She holds office in room C of the company's executive floor. All employees under the marketing department will report to Ms. Pascual from today onwards. Okay, so now that it is already being said in the memo, which means to say all employees should follow, because if not, and there is already a memo about that they have to report to Ms. Pascual, there will be like, oh, what's this? Subordination. Okay, so the company can file you like, yeah, about subordination, and it can be a factor for you to be what's this, yeah, you can be fired from the company. Okay, so you have to follow orders, especially if there is already a memorandum for that. Okay, and okay, we have here the fourth type, okay, of memo, transmittal memo. Okay, it serves as a cover note for a more formal or lengthy document. Okay, so normally, okay, we have here for report like annual inventory like that. Okay, so it's really quite long. Okay, so that's why you have this. So see, as you notice from the two line, the receivers are, yes, some names are already familiar. So Ryan Samson is the president. Janet Pascual is the new vice president for marketing, publishing board of directors. Okay, yes, all. Okay, so from Michael Arboleda, okay, operations manager. Okay, his initial. Okay, September 17. Okay, subject, annual productivity report. Attached is the file. Okay, so from the first part of his memo, he already informed everyone that there is already an attached file. Okay, so yes, it's essential, especially if it's an annual report. Okay, so the attached file is really an essential document for all those employers or bosses to check on that report. So attached is the annual productivity report of the publishing team under my division. The document includes an overview of the team's performance, as well as the statistics on the productivity during the past few years. The report for this fiscal year will be found later these introductory pages. Recommendations and a business forecast for next year are also included. Okay, so your content here will be the whole overview or the general overview of your productivity report or the annual productivity report. Please let me know if you have questions regarding this document. Thank you very much. Okay, and then you do have your enclosures. Okay, yeah, enclosures here, yeah, are your attachments as well. Okay, and we have the last memo, authorization memo. As the name suggests or stated, okay, authorization memo, yeah, gives authority or gives permission. Okay, so it it states that a certain person or a certain employee is allowed to or is authorized to, is permitted to do such request. Maybe the person is requesting for such schedule, then she was being permitted, then yes, it already became the authorization memo. So here, let's try to have this one. So it came from Michael Arboleda, the operations manager. Okay, and okay, it is for the sender, yes, for the receiver, Catherine Bautista, or the editor-in-chief. Please be informed that Amanda Gabriel is authorized to work from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. during the weekdays to compensate for her inability to work during Saturdays. This schedule change was requested and approved to enable Ms. Gabriel to take Saturday classes for her second degree. Thank you very much. Okay, so as mentioned earlier, the letter actually first came from Amanda Gabriel. There was probably a request memo coming from her. Yes, she requested to have what's this? A flexi schedule. Yes. So normally it's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Saturdays. So in her case, she had a request memo for her to be allowed, not to work on Saturdays because she will use that day for her master's probably, or her second degree. So once the request memo is already approved, then you can also have that one for your authorization memo. So it's just like this. Okay, so which means to say it's already approved or you're allowed to do so. I hope that's clear. Okay, if you do have questions, please don't hesitate to comment below. Okay, yes, I will be very much interested to read your questions. Okay, so that would be all. Thank you so much for joining and learning with me today. Okay, so see you in my next lesson. Hopefully we can have those active verbs which we can use for our our writing, formal writing. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.